Hello everyone, welcome to our channel BISP Solution. Let's start our today's session. So this is our today's topic, document style and document layout, and what is the negotiation and quotation in our application. And the negotiation is nothing but RFQ, and at the last we will see the order management related setups, right? So from today onwards we will cover all the order management related tasks and setups, right? So the document style. So we can use the purchase document. We can also see in our last few session, how to create the uh, purchase order and the blanket purchase agreement, contract purchase agreement, right? So these are the purchasing documents. So we can use this document style to control the look and feel of the purchasing document in the application to match their business uses. We can turn on and off various uh, procurement features so that it is simply simplified to the user interface, right? And the document style is also provide the ability to define the purchasing document names that align more closely with the naming convention of your business organization. And when we create a purchasing document using a document style, and when we disable some features, then the features are they're hidden from the UI. You can hide the some features from the UI. So this is also the uses of this document style. And let's take one scenario. If you break price features is not allowed on the agreement document style, we already seen in our blanket purchase agreement, and how we define this price breaking, right? We can hide these price breaking features on the agreement document style, right? When the agreement using this style won't be display the price breaking reason, that we will see in our today's session how we hide in some features from their agreement, right? And we will consider the scenario while creating this document, right? And we have a layout. So the document layout determines the appearance of the document when viewed and communicated to the supplier, right? For purchasing document, we can select the appropriate layout for the document type, and this layout templates determine what information is displayed along with the header, footer, text, style, and the pagination of the printed document, right? And we also select a contract terms layout if procurement contract are deployed, right? And the Oracle Fusion application provides some standard layout, but we can create our own in this application. And we usually define these during the application implementation, and this entire process run by the technical resources. And the technical resources are the XML publisher server, right? So as we and the as we are the SCM consultant, right? So we discuss only a few points, like how technical person find the layout and how they modify it, right? We only modify some fields, right? And how they upload it in the system, and we will discuss only these things, right? We only edit some fields and how we upload in this application, right? So this is layout. So first we will cover this style, and later on we will cover the document layout, right? So this is our application, right? So start with the document style. So we have the implementation project. So go to the setup and maintenance. Click on this task list, manage implementation project. search for our project, right? So we have the task name is manage document style, right? So we have the manage. One second. We have on the document style. Let's wait for a while. Is manage procurement category hierarchy. This is manage procurement. Yes, we have the manage document style. Click on this go to task. Right. So the Oracle provides some uh, basic document style in our application. Suppose we have this standard style. Let's click on that. So under this standard style, we can see the style name, the description, the status over here, and what is the uh, credit line type, if you want to enable or not, line type, right? And what is the complex work over here. This is the purchase order, blanket purchase agreement, and the contract purchase agreement. You can define the name of this display name. Also, we can allow this price breaking option, right, feature for that blanket purchase agreement, right? So let's create one new so that we can easily identify our document style whenever we create the purchase order, right? Suppose we have defining our style, that is data document style, right? And you can also define the same in the description. The status is active, right? And what is the purchase base and consignment term enable or not, right? This is all about the commodities related options, right? And we have the complex work, like we have the retainage enable, progress payments enable or not, right? So these are the commodities and complex work, and this is the purchase order, right? So whenever we create the purchase order in our application, so we select a purchase order name, right? This is the display name. Suppose when we create the purchase order, so let's define the data purchase order, right? And if you want to create the blanket purchase order, suppose we create the data and blanket purchase order, right? And we will see the price breaking options. We go with the no, right? And we have the data contract purchase agreement. So these are some naming convention for this document style, right? Let's click on save and close, right? Now let's save. Now let's create a purchase order, right? So click on this navigator. Under the procurement, click on this purchase order. Right. Now again click on this task list. And we have create new order. So this is the default purchase order we have and we have already created in our previous session. Now this is our Tata purchase order. You can see you can create this purchase order based on the style we have provided to this application, right? Either you can select the seeded document style. Either you can create our own document style and uh, we can take and you can select over here while creating the purchase order, right? So this is the purchase order and let's cancel out. Now let's create the agreement. Right, so this is the style of blanket purchase agreement. Let's select our own Tata blanket purchase agreement. Right, so this is Tata purchase agreement, blanket purchase agreement. Now let's select our supplier and later on we will see the functionality when we create the document layout. At that time we disable the price breaking in blanket purchase order, right? So let's see this functionality that enabled or not. Right, so this is the agreement and we have the supply information. You can also define this agreement amount as per your requirement. Now let's add one line so that we can check the price breaking option. Right, so this is our item and when we click on this, suppose first we defined 100, right, and click on this edit icon. Right, so this is line information, this is item attribute and some additional information with notes and attachment. But you can see over here there is no any option related to price breaking in the purchase blanket agreement. But in our previous sessions, we whenever we create when we create the blanket purchase agreement, at that time we perform this functionality that price breaking. Right? Suppose user uh, take 100 item, then we provide the item price is 90. Suppose our when we the supplier, and you can say suppose we procure the more than 200, then it will be available on 85. So this is the price breaking option on this agreement. You can define for their supplier, right? So this is our document style. You can set, you can create as per your requirement, right? So let's cancel out. Cancel out. Right. Now let's talk about the document layouts. Right. So document style is done. Now document layout. So document layout is the technical person can modify this document layout, but we will cover some basic knowledge how we edit the document, how we upload the document, right? So let's see how it's possible. So we have to go to the server, right? Suppose go to on this one, and we have to remove, and we have to define our XML XMLP server landed on the Oracle server. Yes, you can see, and this is the Oracle Analytics where the technical person can create and the upload the document layout, right? So let's click on this catalog, and we on the share folder. Under the share folder, go to the procurement. So this is the procurement. Click on this procurement, right? So under the procurement, we have the different serial document layout, right? We have the supplier qualification, we have the supplier profile change request, and the self service procurement, right? Under the procurement we have the purchasing, right? So under the purchasing we have the purchasing agreement PDF report, purchasing document email report, purchasing order PDF report, right? So we have the different document layout for the different process like emailing report, PDF report, right? So let's take one uh, record, and we will perform some editing on this layout, right? Suppose we take the purchase order PDF report, and we have the purchase agreement PDF report. You can go, this is the system account, right? Gateway the system account. Suppose we have the purchase order PDF, and click on this more, and click on this customize, right? So this is purchase order layout, right? So click on this edit, and it's downloaded, right? You can see it's downloaded, and this is a RTF file. Let's open it, right? Click on this enable editing, right? So we have some coding related information over here. What is the document style and something else? So this is the field field name, and this is the attribute, right? So this supplier party name is fetch from the database whenever we create this PDF, right? And suppose if you want to add some field over here, something here, and suppose we sold something here, right? If you want to add, so you can do it. So let's take one. Suppose when we click on that, right? You can see we have the one add option, right? So you can add one row over here, right? Suppose we have the company contact and the address of the supplier, right? So suppose we define Tata company so that we can identify this is uh, our field or not, right? Suppose we click on that, and let's define uh, Tata space company, right? And copy this field and paste it over here, right? So the Tata company is our field, and now let's check it display or not while we create this PDF report, right? So let's save it, right? So suppose we save it in the downloads, right? So we have defined this is new, right? Save it. Now let's upload it. So how can we upload it? We have, right, right. So let's add new layout, right? And we upload this. One thing we noted down, let's again save it. This is RTF or not? Yes, this is a RTF template, right? No issue, right? So we have the upload the or generated layout. We can generate over here and we can upload over here. Suppose we upload the file over here. Now let's define our layout name, that is Tata document layout, right? Let's upload the template, RTF template over here from downloads, and we have the new, right? New is our file, and what is the type? So we have the RTF template is our type, and we have to select the language is English, right? Now click on this upload, right? Data document layout gets uploaded over here, right? Right. Now we have to set it as a default format for our right. So we have this edit icon. No, it's in download. No, no issue. Let's click on that. Click on this property. Okay, done. Let's return. Now view as a list, right? And we have the data document layout. So you can set as a default, right? No issue. And what is the default format? Suppose we have the default format is the PDF for the data document layout. And you can also apply the style template over here, right? This is the output format, different format, right? Let's save. We have to save this, right? So this is saved. Now we have to configure in this procurement business function, right? So again, go to the implementation project, setup and maintenance. Click on this task list. Go to this implementation project. Right. So this is SCM is our easy our implementation project. Right. So we have to search, configure procurement business. Right. Click on that. Configure procurement business function. Click on go to task. Let's select our BU. That is US business unit. Right. So we have the general information of this. What are the inventory organization? What is the line type, currency? We have already discussed about that in our procurement setups. Now click on this document type. Right. So we have on the this purchase order. Right. So we have to set the document layout details. Right. This is our document data. We have to set our document style over here, right? Document layout, sorry, document layout. Now to save and close, right? Save. So all the things are performed by the technical guy in our application. So we have to little bit knowledge about this document layout. So now let's create one purchase order so that we can view the document layout of this purchase order. This purchase order. Click on this task list. Let's create. Right. So this is our purchase order, right? And we have to set our supplier. Click on this create. Right. So this is the basic information over here, and we have the option to view as PDF. Now let's check the report of this PDF. A report of this purchase order into the PDF, so that we can identify our document layout, right? Now let's open it. Right, you can see this is startup company. We added a row, and you can say we added one attribute in this purchase order report, right? So you can add it, and you can say the you can edit the layout based on your requirement, right? So this is our Tata company. We add this row in our PDF form, right? Let's cancel out, cancel out. So this is all about the document layout and the document style, right? So we have completed this document style and document layout. Now let's go to the negotiation, right? So as we know that what is the negotiation? So whenever we procure some item from the supplier, we perform one task, name is negotiation, right? So at what price the supplier got the price of the item to the organization, you can he mentioned that price and all the item related information in this quotation, then organization can take the decision based on the quotation. So the what is the best quotation, what is the best price for our organization, so that we can uh, procure the item from the supplier, right? So this is a very crucial task, and you can see the crucial process in our application. So let's let's perform this functionality of quotation in the application, right? So again, go to the application. So start from the creating the negotiation. After that, we create the quotation, right? So go to this navigator. Under the procurement, click on this negotiation, right? First, we have to create the negotiation. After that, we can create the quotation. Click on this create. Sorry, click on this task list and click on this create negotiation, right? We convert this negotiation into the uh, quotation, right? So this is the procurement view. We have to select over here. And what is the negotiation type? We have the auction, we have the RFQ, right? And we have the demand, right? So go with the RFQ, right? And negotiation style, we have the standard, we have the composite, equipment, services, right? Go with the standard negotiation right now. And what is the outcome, right? We can select our outcome like contract purchase agreement, standard purchase agreement, blanket purchase. Let's go with the blanket purchase agreement so that we can perform the agreement with the supplier, right? We connect our supplier with the agreement, and we connect our agreement to the quotation, right? So this is the outcome. So based on the quotations, and we negotiate with the supplier, the outcome of the document is blanket purchase agreement, right? So let's create it. So we have to define the template. Which template you want to select over here, right? Suppose we have the tablet composite, the standard laptop, right? You can select. Suppose we have large negotiation. No, we have. Let's search as a blank, right? So we have the US one business unit. We have a different negotiation template over here. So we have the large standard. So I think go with the large. Create. You can select the template as per your requirement, and you can also create this template, right? Right. So you can see this is the cover page, right? So you can define a request for the code. You can also provide the terms and condition. You can the what is the purpose of this, right? Purpose I can define over here, right? So this is the request for code to the supplier, right? So and click on this next, and you can define the overview of this, right? Suppose we have the title name is RFQ from Tata, right? You can also provide the synopsis name over here. Negotiation style is standard, right? Buyer is the KC Brown, procurement BU, outcome is purchase order, right? And you can also define the approval amount, how much approval amount you can set over here, right? So in the general, you have the schedule, right? We have the title. You can define the introduction of this and the schedule. We have the close date. You can define the close date for this supplier like fixed and the day after the open date, right? Suppose today is the open date and after 10 days this quotation and this negotiation gets closed, right? So you can define over here, right? Right. Go with the fixed suppose you define the day after, so it will disable. You have to define over here. When you select the fix, you have to define the date over here. Suppose it will over on the next day from the today's. So click OK. And what is the requirement you can define over here, right? What is the response rules, right? And we have the terms, can define the terms and condition from the organization, right? We have the payment term is net 30 for the supplier. What is the shipping method, right? We have the shipping method over here. Phrase term, what is the phrase term over here, right? You can define this in negotiation currency, right? This is the mandatory terms for the terms and condition, right? So you can define as per your requirement, right? Right, now click on this next. Right, so under the requirement, you can define the requirement over here. Depends. We have the instructions over here for our supplier. You can define the requirement over here. What is the requirement you can define over here, right? And you can preview the requirement. Let's again next. You can add the line in the line section. Suppose we add one item in the line. Suppose let's create. Right, so requisitioning BU is US1 line code. Let's add one item so that we can perform the functionality. Oops. So no, it's not the description. We have to define over here, right? So this is the item over here. How much quantity you want to negotiate for this? Suppose we have the for the 100 quantity you want to create the negotiation, right? What is the unit of measure? What is the location? What is the requested delivery date? And is the current price? Right? What is the current price? Suppose current price is 1000, 10,000, right? And what is the starting price? You can define this is my starting type, and 10,000 is the starting, right? And let's select our requested. Suppose we have the 28, right? Now click on this next. Right, so you can create the contract for this supplier, right? Now click on this next. We have to define the supply information, right? So we have the different supplier. You can add more supplier for that. Suppose we had the Dell INC 121255, right? What is the site? So this is the site, and this is the right. This is the contact supplier, right? So we have add this one, and you can delete all the things. So you can add the multiple supplier for the negotiation, right? Now let's click on next, and you can review your this negotiation. You can review negotiation over here, right? This is the table of content. Now click on this publish. So it will create the negotiation number. We have to copy this number so that we can easily identify our negotiation, right? Let's copy it, paste it over here, right? Now click OK. Now let's click on this task list, and we create the quotation from here. So click on this manage negotiation. Now we have to search for our negotiation. Right. So this is our negotiation number over here. This is our negotiation number here, and the title for and different information we have already here, right? So uh, select the record and click on this action. We have first go to inside this negotiation. Right. Click on this action and go to the manage, and we have the option is create surrogate response. Click on that. We have to define our supply information from which supplier you want to negotiate, right? Right. Now let's create. Because the supplier is already registered in our application, so no need to register a new supplier. Right. So again, we have the overview of this quotation, right? This is the quotation. You can see this is the quotation number. Now click on this next. Right, we have to response receive on. Click on next. We have the remaining time over here, right? For this quotation. Click on next. Right, we are on the line. So we have to respond. We have to define the response price. How much response? Suppose we have the this 10,000 the response price. So that is matched with uh, our negotiation, right? So again, click on this next. Now we can review this quotation so that we can submit this quotation, right? So let's submit. So this is our response number. Let's copy it and against this negotiation, this MC US 131798. So paste it over here, response, right? Okay, right. Let's click on done. Now again, manage and again search for this is our negotiation. Now we have to analyze this quotation, right? So again, go inside, click on this action. Right, we have the analyze, right? And click on this analyze negotiation. We are going to analyze this negotiation, right? So that we can take the decision based on this negotiation and the quotation, right? So this is our supplier. So we have to select this, right, and we have to click on this analyze. This is our response number. So what is the saving by the supplier, right? And we have the different information over here. What is the supply information, what is the response, and what is the overall rank for this saving, current value, saving percent. So this is the report, and we can analyze the quotation and the negotiation for the supplier, right? So done. So whenever we final the quotation from any supplier, we have to close this request so that we can perform the business for this supplier, right? So again, click on this action, click on done, click on this action, go to this manage, and we have the option close, right? So at what time you want to close this negotiation? Suppose we want to close this request, or you can say that this negotiation and the quotation immediately. So you can select this close immediately option. Either you can set as well the new close date and the note for the supplier, right? So right now go with the immediate, right? So the close date for negotiation was updated, and all invited and the participant supplier will be notified the email, right? So this is the acknowledged message for user, right? Now we have to word this quotation. So click on done, and let's check the status of this negotiation. So the status is active right now. Again, click on search, get closed, right? So our negotiation gets closed whenever we finalize the supplier for our business purpose, right? So now let's again click on this negotiation number, and we have to perform the award. So click on this action, click on this award, and we have to award negotiation, right? Again, we have to select our supplier, right? So this is our supplier. Select our supplier and click on this award, right? Now we have to enable this checkbox for the award decision, right? Now click on this save and close, and we have to set for the approval. Okay, and we can submit for the approval. So let's check who can approve this. I think the system will approve this request. So the award decision for the negotiation was submitted for the approval. So click OK and done. Let's move to the this page. Status is closed. Now click on the search. So the status is award approval in the process. It should be approved by the system. But let's see what is the rule set for this negotiation. You can check in our manage approvals, right? Again, click on search. it should be approved so that we can perform next task. Now let's check who can approve this request. Manage. So we have the manage approved group, manage requisitions, supplier, manage supplier negotiation approval, supplier negotiation award approval, right? This is supplier negotiation award approval. So click on this, go to task. So this is our, and let's click on this edit rule. So you can check who can approve, system will approve this request. So automatic, this is automatic. So this is by the system. Wait for a while. The amount greater than or equal to 50,000 is not 50,000. The amount is, it should be approved by the system. Otherwise, we have to. So this is award header stage, and let's edit rule, and let's select this one and delete this one, right? And this is also enable. Click on save and close, and let's deploy. Right now, let's go inside again. Click on action, click on award, and this is award negotiation. Let's withdraw this award, and we will again send this request. No, it's displaying error due to Java null point error. No. So this is automatic reward recommended this approval, but the award approval in process. I think it will take more time. I have to wait for this approval. Right. Again, click on search so that the status turns into the approved. Let's click on this negotiation. Click on this action. Click on this monitor. Sorry, manage. And we have the close is already performed over here. Award. Let's award negotiation. So the status is award in process. We can also withdraw. We cannot withdraw. Right. We'll see after some time whenever the status turns into the approved. Right. So I did. Let's move over next. Right. Done. Done. Right. So we have uh, done the document style and layout, and for the negotiation we have performed this all the things. We have create the RFQ, create the quotation, analyze the quotation, and then close this quotation. After that we award this quotation, but we are on the wait for the approvals. After that we will complete the award and create the document. Right. Now uh, from here we are going to perform the Oracle Fusion order management related setups. Right. So let's start with the information. Add order management offerings to the project. We have to add the order management offering to the project, the set up the order management parameter. We have to create the release sequence rules, create the pick slip grouping rule, define the ship confirm rule, right? We have to create the pick rules assignment, right? So we have the more and more setups, right? So let's define from the add order management offerings to the project. So start from here. So this is our project, SCM implementation project, and the order management is already added to this implementation user, right? You can add the offerings by clicking this create icon, and you can add the offerings from here and click on this apply and done. So we can add the offerings to this implementation project. Now go with the setup order management parameters, right? So we have to search manage order management parameters, right? Click on this task list, sorry, click on this task, right? And we have the manage order management parameter. Click on this go to task, right? So we have to select the item validation organization and indicate the suppose we have the parameters. This is the parameter name. We have the configuration of the effective date and customer relation type. Suppose we have the item validation organization, right? So this item validation organization indicates that the organization, the Oracle inventory organization, that items are validated and view against, right? Suppose we have the this item organization, and what is the item validation organization value? So you can select our business unit. Suppose we select the US1 business unit, but we select go with the all business unit, right? We can add uh, right. Suppose we add the US1 business unit. US1 business unit, and you can set the organization is 001, right? So this is our organization, right? And you can save and close. So this is the item validation organization value. You can define at the operation level as well as uh, at the child inventory organization level, right? Now let's create the sequence rule, right? Release sequence rule. So again, select and search, manage, release, sequence rules. Manage release sequence rule. So we have the manage peak release rule, manage shipping parameter, right? And we have to manage release sequence. So here is the release sequence. This is manage release sequence rule. Click on this, go to task. Right. So these are the standard order and with default schedule or ship date. But you can create the release sequence rule for this application, right? Suppose we create new one. So what is the name so that we can relate this release sequence rule in our next setups, right? Suppose we have the Tata order management release sequence rule, right? Right, right. So now we have to provide the priority for the sequence. Suppose we have the initial ship date, we have the sales orders, scheduled ship date, shipping priority. You can set the priority first, second, third as per your requirement, right? So we have to define first priority like we create the sales order. So sales order is our first priority, right? And this is the start date, and you can also define the end date for that, right? Let's click on save and close. And sorry, we have to provide this ascending and descending. So this is the descending order. As per a requirement, you can select send close, right? So this is our Tata order management release sequence rule. Now go to the next one, create pick slip grouping rule. So We have manage pick slip. We have the we don't have manage pick slip grouping rules. Click on that. So we have to pick slip. Where is the pick slip? Manage pick slip grouping rule. Click on this, go to task, and let's create new. So what is the pick slip grouping rule? That is data order management. That is pick slip grouping rule, right? Data order management pick slip, right? You can also define the start date and end date over here. So what do you want to group by, right? Suppose you want to group by this order number, and we have the customer, and we want to group by the item. You can select over here, right? So you can select the this field, this checkbox, and you want to group by, right? So in our pick slip grouping rule, we are going to group the order number, customer, and item. So save and close. Done. Now, what is our next task? Next task is define ship confirm rule. So again, search for that. Manage ship confirm rules. Click on that, and we have the manage ship confirm rule. Right, now let's create. So again, we have to define data order management and ship confirm rule, right? Right, and we have the option ship with. Yeah, either you can requested quantity or you can set as a ship quantity, right? So whenever you select the ship quantity, we have to define the shipping methods and some job set over here, and when you select the requested quantity, so we have the same. So we enable some back order cycle count and the stages for these ship quantities, and when we request it, we have the three points. We have to enable these things, right? We have to check the create shipment for remaining stage quantity, right? And we have close shipment, and we have the deferred sending inventory update to the integrated application, right? And let's we not select this one. And what is the document job set, right? So we have the search for that. We don't have any. Suppose we have ship. Now let's cancel out. In display, select the document job set to use the ship confirm. The document job set is applied to the ship confirm to generate the shipping document, right? So save and close and done. Now let's create the picking rule. How we create the picking rule? So we have to manage picking rules. Click on that. Let's go to the picking rules. Click on this go to task. Click on this create icon. So what is the picking rule we have? We have the data order management pick rule. Right. So you can activate and you can allow for the partial picking, right? And we have the material restriction. You can restrict shelf life day, and you can enforce for a single lot, right? And what is the material short criteria? What is the priority for shorting the material, right? You can define over here. We'll see later on this all the things whenever we use it, right? Now done. Now we have the picking rule assignment. I think it should be over here. Yes, this is picking manage picking rule assignment. Click on this go to task. Right. So this is our organization. This is our sequence picking rule. Right. So let's create our own picking rule assignment. So what is our organization? Organization is 001. Right. And what is the sequence? Suppose we have the 101. What is the picking rule? We have already created our data order management pick rule, right? And it should be active. And we have the criteria for the carrier and unit of measure class, source inventory, sub inventory, destination sub inventory, right? Category name, item type. You can where the item. So you can define the role assignment for a particular for a specific item you can define, right? Save and close. Again done. Now we have the pick rule assignment. Now create the pick wave release rule. Pick wave release rule. So we have the pick wave release rule is nothing here. We have to search for that. So we have pick wave release rule. Click on this rule and we have the pick wave search. This is manage pick wave release rule. Click on this go to task. Now let's create. Right, so what is the name of this pick wave release rule? Suppose we have the Tata order management pick wave release rule. Right, now we can define the start date over here and under the demand selection, right, we have to set the ship from organization, right? So let's define 001. Now we have the sub inventory. You can define sub inventory. So sub inventory 1 is our sub inventory, and release status is all, right? Now we have the order type. You can select over here. We have the sales order, transfer order, right? This is the type, and this is the order over here. You can select, and under the date, you can schedule the ship date. You can schedule the ship date and date, right? Requested date, requested end date, right? And what is the shipping priorities? You can define over high, low, and medium. What is the shipping method? You can define over here, right? So under the pick wave release rule, we have the option. So option, we can fulfillment, pick from the sovereignty, from which sovereignty you want to uh, pick. Like we have this sub inventory is sub INV1, and from which locator you want to pick the item. You can define also over here. And staging inventory, we have this staging sub inventory. You can define over here, right? Now under the processing, we have the release sequence rule. So we have already created the release sequence rule. You can define over here. Data release sequence rule we have created, right? And what is the pick slip grouping rule? We have already created for the same. We have the data order management pick slip grouping rule, right? And we have the option to auto confirm these picks, right? You can set over here. Ship confirm rule you can set. Now click on this save and close, and done. So now our next step is create staging subinventory. Staging subinventory is already we selected in our previously set up. Now let's create our staging subinventory, right? So we can already created, so we will go with that, right? We will go with the all seeded uh, staging subinventory, right? So no need to create. We have already know how to create the subinventory in the application, right? So no need to configure this one. Now let's configure the shipping parameter. So in order to configure the shipping parameter, we have the manage shipping parameter, right? So we have the shipping parameter where is the shipping manage shipping exception. We have the manage shipping parameter. Click on this go to task. Right. So under the manage shipping parameter, we can write this is a shipping parameter. So we have already set this parameter in our application. So we can configure this one like we can set our organization. This is our staging subinventory. You can set over here. What is the release sequence rule? You can set over here, right? So we have the ship confirm weight. We need to measure is weight, right? We have the ship set behavior is the information you can set as per requirement, right? And we have the pick slip document sequence you can set, right? And we have the pick release. Under the pick release, we have the pick sequence rule. You can define our data. What is the grouping? So we have the data order management pick slip grouping rule, right? And we have this set the sub inventory is our own sub inventory. You can also set this staging, but let's go with the this sub inventory so that we can easily identify, right? That you can display a error, sorry, a warning that the sub inventory, the supply sub inventory is same as the staging sub inventory, right? So no issue for that. Now we have the locator and the shipping method. We have the shipping release page, right? No issue. The organization is 001, no issue. 7 close. Now next task is create collector, create payment term. Payment term is already created in our system, CD data, and you can create as per your requirement, right? We have this net 30, net 45. You can also create net 50, net 40, right? And we'll create this statement cycle, customer profile class. Now let's create with the create collector, right? So let's search create collectors. Right, manage collectors. So we have the manage collector. Click on this, go to task. Right, now let's click on this create. Now we have the data collector, and who is the employee. So suppose we have the Casey Brown, go with the Casey Brown. Casey Brown is also the employee user. Right. And what is the collection set? That is US1 BU set, right? 7 close. So we have collected this collector in our application, right? Sorry. So these are the basic setups we have to set for our performing the order management tasks, right? We will see what is the collector and how it will use in our application, right? We will see. So we have the payment term. Payment term is already we created, but let's manage. Receivable payment term. something is right. So we have the receivable. Sorry, receivable payment term. Go with the finance. We have the manage receivable payment term. Click on this. Go to task. Right. Now let's click on this create. So what is the payment term set? Right. So let's go with the common, or we have the US one BU set, right? And we have the define the name. Suppose we have the Tata immediate, right? You can also set for the description over here, right? And we have the discount basis, what discount you want to, at the invoice amount you want to provide the discount, right? And if you want to allow the discount on the partial payment, you can set over here, right? And what is the discount basis date, you can define over here, right? And we have the installment option. What is the installment option? You can set over here. We have the allocated tax and freight, and include tax and freight in the first installment. So you can set, like we said, the include tax, right? And what is the basic amount? You can set over here, right? Now we have the payment schedule. So let's, we have the sequence one, and we have the 100 day is 0, right? And this is a mandatory field. Due date you can define over here, right? And we have the discount over here. If you want to provide the discount, you can set over here, right? Click on save and close. Now our next setup is create statement cycle. Manage statement cycle, right? Click on this task, manage statement cycle. Click on this go to task. Let's click on new, that is monthly basis. So what is the name? Suppose we have the data monthly, right? And we said the interval is monthly, right? And what is the description for that? You can define over here, and this is active, right? Click on this save and close. So this is the cycle statement you can create over here. And you can set the business unit. Suppose we have, so this is our statement cycle, and you can add the business unit for business, for which business unit you want to set their cycle statement. Suppose we create the cycle date for the US one, right? and you can set the statement date. Suppose we define this date, right? And you can also skip the business unit. We have the multiple, so you can skip, rather you can delete this record, right? Click on this and close. So what is our next task? Create customer profile class. So let's create the customer profile class. So we have to here the task name is manage receivable customer profile class. Click on this go to task. Now let's create new one. So what is the profile class name? Suppose we are going to insert data, and we have the profile class, right? Customer profile class. Right. You can set the description as same so that we can identify easily, right? And what is the profile class? So under the profile class we have the credit and collection. So under the credit collection you have to define this collector. So this is a mandatory field. So we have previously created this collector. So we have to mention over here. So let's select data. Okay. So this is why we had create the data collector in our previously setups, right? Now go to the terms. We have to define the payment term here. So we have already created the data immediate is our payment term, right? And we also define the receipt matching statement and learning and invoicing. So under the statement and learning we have the cycle statement. So we have already created this cycle statement. We have the data monthly is our cycle statement cycle, right? And we have the more options, like we can set the tolerance, we can set the credit currency, credit limit, right? And we have the late charges where you can define over here for this customer. Click on save and close. And reference data set we have already created reference data set for the customer side. So let's click on done. So we have the task name is manage. Reference data set or difference. manage reference data set, click on right. So we have the manage reference data set. So we have already created this customer site, right? Okay, cancel out. Right. Now let's move to our next customer, create customer and customer address site. So let's define this one. Suppose we have the manage customer, right? So we have the customer address manage customer. Click on this manage customer. So we can create the customer, right? So click on this create customer. We have to create the customer and customer site, right? Previously we create the customer profile, right? So at what customer type you want to create, right? So at the organization level or at the person level you can define. And what is the organization information you have to define over here? What is the name? Suppose we have Tata, Tata customer, and we have the account information. This account number is created by the system. Define this description, and you have to insert this account description over here, right? This field is not mandatory, you can see over here, but we have to define, because if you're not giving any information to this field, you cannot convert sales order to the invoice, right? So we have to, you must insert the description over here, right? Suppose we define the Tata Tata account number is 54116, right? So that we can easily identify this number, right? What is the type you can define over here? What is the customer class you can define over here, right? And we have the account address set. So click on that. We have the already create the US view set. You can set over here. Either you can set the customer site over here. This is the customer site. You can set this customer site. Right. We have the address for this customer site. You can set, and we have the account purpose. This is the address. You can define, you can account address detail. We have, right. We don't have any purpose. This you can say. You can add the purpose for this address. Suppose we are going to add this purpose for bill to, right? So we have to add, the purpose is bill to, right? So we added this one. We can add more, right? We add more for ship to. So for the bill to ship to, we have to define the site. So we have defined the uh, address. Tata, we have the address bill to site. Suppose we have defined the city, postal code, city, we have the city. Not searching anything else. State is city. It's not searching.
Recording stopped.